A man stood in front of a locked door. Behind that door was everything he wanted: his dream job, financial freedom, the life he had always imagined. But the door was locked, and the man had a key, so he inserted the key into the lock and turned. Nothing. The door stayed locked. He tried again. Harder this time, still nothing. He tried 100 times, 1,000 times. He worked so hard. He tried for years, but the door never opened. This is the story of the wrong key, and it will explain why some people work incredibly hard but never succeed. The man's name was David. David was not lazy. David was not weak. David was not a quitter. David was hardworking, dedicated, persistent. He woke up early every single day. He stood in front of that locked door every single day, and he tried to open it with his key every single day. Turn, 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 again. Again, he tried so hard. For years, people walking by would see David struggling with the door. Some people felt sorry for him. Poor David, they said. He works so hard but the door won't open. Other people criticized him. David must be doing something wrong, they said. If he just tried harder, the door would open. So David tried harder. He forced the key. He twisted with more strength. He pushed with all his weight. He worked until his hands bled, but the door stayed locked. One day an old locksmith walked by. He watched David struggling with the door. He watched David forcing the key, pushing, twisting, sweating, exhausting himself. The locksmith approached David. "Young man," the locksmith said gently, "may I see your key?" David handed the key to the locksmith. The locksmith examined it carefully. Then the locksmith looked at the door's lock. Then he looked at David with sad eyes. "Young man," the locksmith said softly, "this is the wrong key." David was stunned, shocked, confused. "What do you mean wrong key?" David asked. "I have been using this key for 10 years. I work on this door every single day. I try harder than everyone. How can it be the wrong key?" The locksmith replied, "It is the wrong key because it does not fit this lock. The shape is different, the grooves are different, the size is different. You can try for 100 years with all your strength and all your effort, but the wrong key will never open this door. Never." David felt his world collapse. 10 years. 10 years of waking up early. 10 years of standing in front of this door. 10 years of forcing this key. 10 years of bleeding hands and exhausted body. 10 years of hearing people say try harder when he was already trying as hard as humanly possible. And now this old man tells him it was all wasted. All of it because he had the wrong key. "But I worked so hard," David said, his voice breaking. "I never gave up. I never quit. I tried every single day for 10 years. How can all that effort mean nothing?" The locksmith put his hand on David's shoulder. "Your effort was real," the locksmith said kindly. "Your dedication was admirable. Your persistence was impressive. But effort with the wrong key is just wasted motion. Working hard on the wrong approach is just wasted time. You can be the hardest worker in the world, but if your key does not fit the lock, the door will never open." Then the locksmith asked the most important question. "Where did you get this key?" David thought for a moment. "My father gave it to me," David said. "When I was young, my father said this key would open the door to success. He used this key, so I used this key. Everyone in my family uses this key." The locksmith nodded slowly. "I see. So you never questioned whether it was the right key. You just assumed because your father used it, it would work for you. You assumed because others used it, it would work for you. You never stopped to check if the key actually fits your lock." David was silent. He realized the truth. He had spent 10 years forcing the wrong key because he never stopped to question whether it was the right approach. He just worked harder and harder with the wrong tool. "What should I do now?" David asked desperately. The locksmith smiled. "First, accept that this key is wrong. Stop trying to force it. Second, find the right key. Study the lock. Understand what key it needs. Third, when you find the right key, the door will open easily, not with force, not with struggle. The right key opens locks smoothly. Let me ask you something. How many years have you been forcing the wrong key? How long have you been working incredibly hard on the wrong approach? How much effort have you wasted trying to force something that will never work? Maybe you are trying to succeed in a career you hate. You work hard, you stay late, you give everything, but you are miserable. You are forcing the wrong key. Your lock needs passion and purpose, but you are trying to open it with money and status. Wrong key. Maybe you are trying to lose weight by starving yourself. You work hard, you count every calorie, you deny yourself food, but you keep gaining weight back. You are forcing the wrong key. Your lock needs sustainable lifestyle change, but you are trying to open it with extreme restriction. Wrong key. Maybe you are trying to build a business using the same methods everyone else uses. You work hard, you follow all the advice, you do what successful people say to do, but your business is not growing. You are forcing the wrong key. Your lock is different, your market is different, your strengths are different. What worked for them will not work for you. Wrong key. Maybe you are trying to fix your relationship by talking more. You work hard, you communicate, you express your feelings, but the relationship is not improving. You are forcing the wrong key. Your partner's lock does not open with words, it opens with actions or time or respect. Wrong key. Here is the painful truth most people do not want to accept. Sometimes the reason you are not succeeding is not because you are not working hard enough, it is because you are working hard on the wrong thing. You have the wrong key, and no amount of force, no amount of effort, no amount of assistance will make the wrong key open the right lock. David learned this after 10 years. 10 wasted years. Do not be David. Do not spend 10 years forcing the wrong key. Stop. Look at your key. Look at your lock. Are they a match? Or have you been assuming they match because someone told you they match? Or because you want them to match? Or because you have invested so much time that you cannot admit they do not match? The locksmith gave David 3 lessons that day. 3 lessons that changed David's life. 3 lessons that will change yours if you listen. Lesson 1. The right key opens locks easily. If you have to force something for years, it is probably the wrong approach. The right key slides in smoothly, turns effortlessly, opens the lock without struggle. Yes, there will be challenges. Yes, there will be obstacles. But there is a difference between healthy challenge and forcing the wrong key. Healthy challenge feels difficult but right. Forcing the wrong key feels difficult and wrong. How do you know the difference? Ask yourself, am I growing through this difficulty, or am I just exhausting myself with no progress? If you are growing, keep going. If you are just exhausted with 0 results after years, you have the wrong key. Lesson 2. Your father's key might not fit your lock. Your friend's key might not fit your lock. The successful person's key might not fit your lock. Every door is different. Every lock is unique. What worked for someone else will not necessarily work for you. Stop blindly copying other people's keys. Stop assuming their approach will work for your situation. Study your own lock. Understand your own door. Find your own key. David spent 10 years using his father's key. It never occurred to him that his father's door was different from his door. His father's lock was different from his lock. His father's key worked for his father, but David needed his own key. How many years have you wasted using someone else's key? How long will you keep forcing their approach on your unique situation? Lesson 3. Changing your key is not quitting. This is the hardest lesson. David felt like a failure when the locksmith told him he had the wrong key. David felt like 10 years were wasted. David felt like admitting the key was wrong meant he was a quitter. But the locksmith explained, quitting is giving up on the door. Changing your key is refusing to give up on the door. You are not abandoning your goal. You are finding a better way to reach it. Smart people change their keys when the current key does not work. Stubborn people force the wrong key for their entire lives and wonder why they never succeed. After that conversation, David went home. He threw away the key his father gave him. Not with anger, not with resentment, just with acceptance. It was the wrong key. David studied his door. He examined the lock carefully. He learned what shape key it needed. He learned what grooves it required. He learned what size would fit. Then David made a new key. A key designed specifically for his lock, not his father's lock, his lock. The first time David inserted the new key, something magical happened. It slid in smoothly. It turned effortlessly. The door opened. Just like that. After 10 years of forcing the wrong key, the right key opened the door in 5 seconds. David stood in shock. It was this easy, he thought. All I needed was the right key. Yes, the right key makes everything easy, not effortless but natural. The right approach flows. The wrong approach forces. Now here is what happened next. David walked through the door, but before he left, he carved a message on the door for the next person who would stand where he stood. The message said, if you have been forcing this door for years and it will not open, check your key. You might be working incredibly hard with the wrong approach. It is not your effort that is wrong. It is your method. Change your key. The door will open. David's story spread. Other people who had been forcing wrong keys for years heard about it. They stopped. They examined their keys. They examined their locks. Many realized they had been forcing the wrong key. Some for 5 years. Some for 20 years. Some their entire lives. They changed their keys. They found the right approaches for their unique doors. And their doors opened. But some people refused to change their keys. They heard David's story and said, my key is fine. I just need to try harder. I just need more force. I just need more years. Those people are still standing in front of locked doors today, still forcing wrong keys, still wondering why effort is not enough, still blaming themselves for not trying hard enough when the real problem is not their effort. It is their key. So let me ask you one more time. What door are you trying to open? What key are you using? Is it the right key, or have you been forcing the wrong key for years? How do you know? Here is how you know. If you have been working incredibly hard for years and the door is still locked, if you are exhausted but seeing no results, if you feel like you are pushing a boulder uphill every single day with no progress, you have the wrong key. It is not a failure to admit this. It is wisdom. It is not quitting to change your key. It is intelligence. The world does not reward people who force wrong keys. The world rewards people who find right keys. Stop forcing, start examining. What does your lock actually need? Not what worked for your father. Not what worked for your friend. Not what worked for that successful person on the internet. What does your lock need? Study it. Understand it. Design a key specifically for it. Then insert that key and watch how easily the door opens. Not immediately, not without effort, but naturally, smoothly, the way things are supposed to work when the approach is right. David wasted 10 years with the wrong key, but he did not waste the rest of his life. He changed his key, his door opened, his dream came true. Not because he worked harder, but because he finally worked with the right approach. The wrong key will never open the door, but the right key opens everything. What key do you need?